With immense pleasure and excitement, I welcome our guest for today in the Industry Expert Series, Ms. Madhumitha Ravi, Senior Manager HR South, Cunanagle India Private Limited. Having 14 years as an HR in the industry, Ms. Madhu joins us today to share her experience and some key insights about the hiring practices in logistics industry. Welcome, Madhu.
Hey, hi, very happy to have you here as well. And very long time, Shivaranjani. I hope all of you are good and fine.
Absolutely. Thank you, Madhu. So to get started, I would really love to know about your life story. Please tell us about your journey so far.
Journey as such is not that great and interesting, but while I'm talking, I can make it a little interesting. So I am basically a BCom graduate, did my BCom from MOP Vaishnav College. From there, I moved my master graduates from SRM University. So in between, I have a small short break, or I should say a speed breaker. What is that is like, I was aspirant about commerce, and as the family goes with BCom, and they say go for a chartered accountant in company secretaryship. So I just want to try it out for a CS, which is company secretaryship. I gave the inter, and post inter I was doing my finals, going on and on and on, multiple attempts, and the failure note came in. And I later realized that that is not my forte, and venturing out with multiple options. That's where I had a experience of close to 8 months as an RJ in Radio Mirchi. So the RJ as a Radio Mirchi made me to be very vocal, very collaborative with people around, as I was always always outgoing the college, where I don't step inside the college. So that's where collaborating with people have become one of the key pillars for me. And I thought that my strength is to get engaged. The strength is to take care of human resource. The strength is to maintain the human resource department. That way, the spark which came in from me as an RJ. Then later I moved down into this MBA human resource with finance and human resource dual specialization in SRM. And post that, the actual career started. So that was a time where I was also being one of a campus student from SRM University and waiting for my offer letter. And that was my first company called MetLife India Insurance. It's an insurance company. So I was an HR executive during 2008. I was being recruited. I was being about to hire lots of freshers, and I was excited hiring lots of freshers. Insurance domain, especially 2008, 2009 was booming industry. In fact, lots of attritions, lots of new hires. This is how the circle started in, and then moved from insurance to an ITES setup. That's where I was worked in World Bank and Capgemini. Through that, I got an opportunity to travel abroad for 8 to 9 months, where I offshore a couple of activities and returned back. And then moved from IT and ITES service towards the service industry, which is agility. That's the first breakthrough for me for the logistics, because how logistics has been paying way towards the movement of goods from one place to another, and from agility right now with Cunanagle. So in between couple of speed breakers like finance, CS, but finally RJ, and finally has a human resource partner for Cunanagle and for people as such. So that's about a complete life journey as such about me, Shivaranjani.
My goodness, it's such an interesting story. I wonder, why did you say it wasn't that great, all the way from RJ to an HR and an IT sector, and then finally into the logistics sector? Lovely to know that, Madhu. Madhu, my next question is, what were some of the key skill sets that you look for while hiring freshers for logistics industry?
Oh, that's precisely a very nice question, especially from the logistics industry. In fact, I should actually thank Business School of Logistics and Shipping and a couple of institutes like this, because BSLS, I have been associated with them for the last 3 years. In fact, there were 3 guys who have been identified by me as a fresher from the institute, and they got placed with Cunanagle, and their successful journey continues with Cunanagle. So especially as a fresher, initial stage, it is little difficult for people as the logisticians to understand what is logistics is all about. So it can be a little Greek and Latin for a freshers to step in. But a person who has a little bit of experience with logistics, like these institutes, which provide a basic background towards them and wrap it up and present as a fresher to Kirunagal, at that time, it becomes easy for Kirunagal to absorb them, mold them to the requirement of what we have, and then pass it on. Specific towards the answer for question what you asked.
Yes.
As a fresher, what are we looking at for? First, we are looking at the communication skill, which is predominantly very important at this point in time, because logisticians serve towards the customer excellence, and customer excellence needs a very good communication. We don't want Oxford or Harvard English. We want a good person who can able to communicate well. That is the first key parametric which we would identify with a candidate. The second parametric is about the behavioral skill set, which is very important. See, the millennials, especially whom we are talking about, the behavioral pattern keeps changing during multiple sites that they are into. So the behavioral pattern we look about for. And third is little bit of the technical skill. Technical skill, we don't get into detail about what is logistics is about. Can you explain in detail what is X, what is Y, and what is Z? A basic technical questions of how you handle a customer during a conflict situation, how you handle your co-colleague who is actually so stressed, how can you share your work. These are few set of technical questions which we give them a scenario and make them comfortable whether will they be able to handle the situations. These are the three key parameters for the fresher which we'll be looking out for as the logisticians to get evolved into a company basically.
Wow, thank you so much. First, Badhu, for sharing your little appreciation about BSLS. We are very happy to hear that coming from an HR of an MNC in the logistics industry. And second, also to elaborate on the kind of key skill sets that you're looking for. Now, in the same line, Madhu, I would also like you to throw some light on what are the softer aspects that a candidate must possess in order to have a successful career.
Okay. So in fact, this has been this question that everybody should keep that in their mind before they come for an interview. Why I specify this to you, Shivranjani, is they have multiple thoughts in their mind before they come for the interview. A, whether will I fit into this requirement? B, because I am in need, I am in desperate to get into the job. It can be anything. Third thing is people, I have invested so much for multiple things. Now it's time for me to take up the responsibility of my family and I. So these are the three major things people focus. But the fourth one is about the passion. Out of 10, for example, out of 10, almost 6.7 to 7% of people focus more about what it comes on the way they picks up. Only 3% of the people in the general process of freshers who get into the job focus more towards the passion for it. So what I've been instructing or I have been updating people when I meet them is, do you have passion to work?
Right.
What kind of passion that you have towards the organization or towards the job that you need to do it? Because multiple answer comes, ma'am, just want a job. I've just got an opportunity. I just want to give a try. So these are very common answers people say. But then there are, I have also seen, ma'am, logistics is one of the very trending thing which is happening in next 2 years to 5 years. So I keep asking him, what is trending is all about? No, we can make big money. So beyond that, people also think about what is that career that they will like to opt for. So for freshers, I would want to keep 3 key parameters which they have to keep in mind. First thing that they have to think about it is about the communication flow, which have been specified in the previous question as well. Second is the passion towards what they are looking out for. And the third thing is what kind of skill set they obtain to continue with these jobs. So these are the 3 parameters which I feel that a fresher should have a calibration to approach towards any job. I'm not specifying about the logistics as well. The same fresher as a BE can approach towards an ITES company. This is a common platform where people have to keep in their mind and then approach towards it.
Yes, absolutely agree, Madhu. Now, I would also like you to tell us what are some of the key challenges that you're facing in today's time while hiring freshers for a position?
Oh, that's again a very big challenge, I tell you, Shivranjani, because every organization post-pandemic, I want to emphasize a point here, because post-pandemic, business are getting expanded. Volumes of business are coming huge. especially on logistics field, which I'm talking about it. So when the logistics field, where the volumes and the customer demands keep mounting up high and high, the expectations from the employer side is also huge. So
Right.
if you give me about 5 candidates, in that 5 candidates, I have 2 freshers and 3 are plug and play. My eye towards the plug and play goes first compared to the persons who are fresher, even though they are exponentially very well and they are very good in articulating what we want. The communication is fabulous. And it's just about training them in the system for about 3 to 4 months and then put them into the system. That's it. But then the requirement right on post pandemic is more towards the plug and play methodology. So the more plug and play candidate, let's assume that I have a key account position. For example, key account profile that I have. I look at a fresher or an experienced candidate. Fresher would take time to get into the business or to the role what I'm looking out for, but the experience immediately start stepping in. But in Karanagal, what are we doing it, or what do we still continue further is we still keep a ratio of freshers. In fact, so what do we do is we give them a time for 3 months as an internship. And in fact, we had a couple of internship students who were there from BSLS as well, who completed their internship and started their career. So 3 months of internship, we just have absorbed them. And within this 3 months, the plug and play guy and the internship person together learns the system. So by the time we will understand who understands or who can able to articulate things quickly to the customer, immediately the process starts in and we absorb those set of students. So for fresher, especially in our industry, the absorbing period to understand the nuances of the business take little time. But one thing which I want to insist this to all the students who are freshers who want to apply for logistics are just understand the concepts of what logistics is all about. Please run through that during your internship program to the companies who or whichever companies you are into, so that that becomes the strongest platform for you to sell yourself during any such interviews you are with. It can be with Kunanagal, it can be with any competitions you are with. But definitely that internship program that you gain will definitely help the freshers to sell or to explain about their process very easily to the companies. So this is one thing that people have to keep in mind. Post pandemic, the freshers should definitely go on internship and learn much towards it and move towards the organization.
Oh, lovely. Very well said, Madhu. Another key trend that we are observing in the recent past is that freshers are somehow equating shifting organizations as a part of career growth. So, in your opinion, when do you think a fresher should ideally consider spreading their wings and then looking out for new opportunities?
Well, holding freshers becomes very difficult, I tell you again, because I've been hiring management trainees across years, and sustainability for the freshers or the management trainees. In fact, I call them as management trainees rather than a freshers, because Karnataka will run through this management training program, and I know you know that very well. In fact, I'm very proud to say that Shivaranjani was also a management trainee for us in Kunanagal, in fact. So the management trainee program is an exclusive program in Kunanagal, India as such. So what is this program all about? It is about learning, make them to learn for next 1 year by paying them in Kunanagal. And post after 1 year, we wish to see how do they outshine in whichever department into it, and we absorb them. Coming back to the question what you asked for, sustainability for the management trainees. I would rather give 2 years, because why 2 years is, first year is for the employee or the management trainee or the fresher to understand the system, be it any organization. And the second year is you have to wait and see whether the seed what you have invested has started reaping a plant or a fruit. So the second year is for the organization to give you back of the investment what you have done for the first year. So 2 years, it's the basic foundation where you give back, organization give back. So it's a proportional growth for both an employee and an employer and the organization. Together, you will see the result after 2 years. Then after 2 years, you should start looking internally what are the opportunities which is around within your department or within your functionality. still you feel that nothing is happening or nothing is impressing you, then the outside world is waiting for you. But minimum of 2 years, you have to give a time. There is a saying by William Wordsworth, which I think most of us knows about it, is like, young ones are clueless. So
Right.
young ones are clueless is even, I was also one such case. I was with MetLife India Insurance for about 2.5 years. From there, I moved into an ITS company. So it is not a thumb rule that people have to switch over it, but the minimum period what people should give, wait, understand, and get through the process is 2 to 3 years minimum, is what I would request you to give this message so that this becomes easy for people to get sustained. But another challenge is if people keep hopping between the companies, we call them as hoppers, especially HRs. So there are two profiles, Shivranjani. Let's give an example. So one is Madhumitha A, another one is Madhumitha B. Madhumitha A has been in an organization 5 years, 7 years with 2, 3 companies. Whereas Madhumitha B, 3 years once, she's been moving across to different companies. There is a requirement called a senior management requirement in one of the company. So I am the HR. So I validate Madhumitha A and Madhumitha B. Madhumitha has a strong foundation with 5 years,
Right.
but her interpersonal skills and her communications or the project initiative that she's done is not up to it. But Madhumitha B has been a job hopper, but she's been done various projects, implementing multiple new projects across the company. So I want to see who will fit into the role. If I'm desperate, I'll go for Madhumitha B, who's a job hopper. But there are few organizations who still see that frequent job hoppers are not being recognized well. It was old, but even
Right.
now, few people think about it. But nowadays, gone old thoughts of hopping job between 2 years, 3 years. People see whether Madhumita fits into this role currently. Yes, no. But they would require for a sustainability of minimum 2, 3 years. 6 months,
Right.
8 months, 1 year. That is very bad. 2 years to 3 years, 5 years to 7 years. That's actually a very good time for people. But overall, to answer to your question, 2 years is a minimum period that people should give a time for an organization to understand you and start giving you the growth or an opportunity, is what I just want to specify.
Wow, very beautifully explained with an example as well, Madhu. And precisely now, my next question and the $1 million question is that when you got two candidates who are equally good, how do you make that final decision whom to go with? Is there any specific criteria that you look for that, okay, I've got two apples, apple to apple comparison, and this is the criteria that would finally decide apple A is what I'm going to pick. So how do you deal with such a situation?
Oh, that's common in every HR's life, I should tell you, Shivratri, because
Yes.
we almost shortlist with multiple good candidates, but then final decisions come to two main person. One is HR and second one is the product head. So the
Right.
product say that, Madhu, HR's responsibility is to give a good candidate back to us. And tomorrow, if anything goes wrong with that individual person, the gun is on the HR head that you recruited that person, you vouched for that person, you gave guarantee for that person. So that's how I say that any person who joins in an organization, I keep telling this, don't worry, 6 months, I protect you with a warrior shield or a gladiator shield around you. So 6 months, people doesn't or dare to touch you. Post 6 months, you will be with all this martial arts around you and you can fight back with anything, is what I say. So coming back to the question, what you asked for, Shivrajini, with regards to comparison between both the candidates. So there are about 5 criteria which any HR will do it. Not only for logistics, any industries that you take, the 5 criteria. The first is about, let me talk about the behavior skill set, which is very important because be it a technical person and non-technical person, both of us will talk only about the behavioral point. What is this behavioral pointers, which talks about first thing, behavior has multiple points towards it, but I just want to give you a key pointers along to make you understand, which becomes easy. Behavior talks about customer excellence. How good is Apple delights the customer is what. Another thing is how good is that Apple doesn't grow by itself, it also grows the other team member. So these are two examples of behavior. So if I have been recruiting any one person, so I see how he or she has a good customer excellence because we're all service industry.
Right.
Our net is customer. customer happy is employee happy. So we always say that make the employee happy, in turn employee make customer happy. So ensure that what kind of customer excellence role as a behavior he or she possesses. Second thing is about he or she, what kind of self-learning or self-development, not only self, making others also to develop and grow. So these are few examples which I can put it into the basket of behavior pattern. That's the behavior part that we'll first look about it. Second is the technical aspect, what we talk about, like the technical experts talk about that what is bill of lading, what is logistics is all about. Give me the port codes, what customers you have been handling before, what are the rates that you know about, multiple junctions or multiple trade lines that you have been following about. A little bit of technical point which we talk about it. Third is all about the interpersonal skills. So this interpersonal skills talks more about as an individual, how he or she carries the behavior pattern which we talk in the first. Interpersonal skill is also about an individual, how he or she can able to gel up between the team, between the customer. So third, apart from behavior, interpersonal skill plays a very, very vital role in an organization. How he can gel within the team, how she can able to gel up and come forward towards the organizational growth and diversity. Third one is about the interpersonal skill. The fourth thing is about the aptitude, which comprises of everything: common communication, then technical questions, then apps which regards to the mathematical questions as well. So how easily he can able to calculate the rates, how he or she can able to understand the demurrages amount if in case any losses incurred. A basic of math, generally about profit and loss account, what is profit, what is general. So these are the main four criteria which we look about it. Last but not the least, the sustainability of the person, how he or she can able to sustain. In the interview itself, we can see whether he or she becomes restless, not showing any interest towards it, what kind of longevity he or she can give investment to the organization. It's all about the duration that he or she gives a guarantee towards. We don't ask for a bond. I don't think so. No logistics company asks for a bond, but we want a sustainability. As we said, young ones are clueless. We don't want them to be a hoppers in 1 year or 6 months. So we want to see how intense they are opting towards the new job that we are offering for, because we ask two common questions to any candidate: what is your short-term goal, what is your long-term goal?
Yes.
So this short-term and long-term goal is about the interpersonal skills that they talk in detail about it, and they outperform it. So based on these five criteria, we rate them with a scale of 1 to 5, where 1 is least and 5 is highest. So when we put an average of all these 5 parameters, any person who crosses more than 3.7, between 3.7 to 4.5 is a sure short candidate who gets shortlisted. So these are the 5 parameters that people should keep in their mind when they appear for the interview. These are basic. Any HR, any industry they go, these are the common jargons which we'll be talking in detail, Shivrajini.
My goodness, thank you for elaborating the skills under each basket and also sharing with us examples so that all of us are able to understand what exactly falls under each of those criteria. Otherwise, generally we say technical skills, communication, attitude. So these are the broad 3 categories we all are used to, but you have actually dissected each one and made us understand. I'm sure it's going to help the students who are going to be preparing and also facing interviews in the short term. So
if they can able to put this into the basket, Shivranjani, I think they start preparing themselves for this whatever the interviews they are into, they can easily crack this off and get into placed on. So that guarantee is for sure.
Absolutely. And also you have given us the metrics. If somebody is going to score between 3.7 to 4.5, the candidate is surely going to make their way into the organization and nobody can stop it. Thank you so much, Madhu, for taking time out and spending this time with us and sharing such valuable inputs. And also on behalf of Business School of Logistics and Shipping, I would once again thank you for also giving our guys opportunity in your organization.
Anytime, Shivranjani, because I've been associated with the BSLS almost 3 years by now, 3.5 years by now. And on and off, I keep interacting and take a couple of students in and the association keeps continue with Churanagal for sure. And definitely the students who are from BSLS, the background that they carry, in spite of we giving 1 year of management training program, they come up with already an equipped knowledge what a logistics industry wants about it. So the more they carry this information and they could able to give us a better results. And I should actually thank your logistics school of giving a very wide knowledge about it and a good insights to the students with a deeper diversity of multiple ports, multiple subjects, multiple experts coming and talking in detail about it. In fact, I'm very glad. I'm very happy that I've been associated with BSLS as well. And let's continue this journey forever and ever, Shivranjani. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity.
Absolutely, Madhu. So let's go hand in hand and build better logisticians for tomorrow.
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Madhu. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Shivranjani. Bye.